Hi there, I'm Jamie and I'm one of the co-founders of Right Fit Properties. So chances are if you're watching this video that you've got a investment property yourself, perhaps you've got more than one. Could be that you're doing some research around what's involved in having an investment property because you're considering purchasing also. So the purpose of this video is to cover off on what's involved or why it's important in having a good property manager to look after your home, what can happen if you don't, and also the benefits if you do. I'll cover off a little bit on my experience as a property investor along the way, how it shaped the business that I run today, and how I believe our business can help to give you a positive experience as a property investor and also maximize the return on your investment, because that's important as well. So where do we start? Right Fit Properties has been formed by investors, for investors. There's 3 partners in the business, and the business has been formed, I guess you'd say, fortunately, some would say unfortunately, through our bad experience with our own investment properties, which was through property managers that we'd employed to look after our affairs who weren't actually doing the job properly. We learnt the hard way there. So the experience with us was across a couple of properties with large rental arrears leading to eviction. The other one was rental arrears, substantial damage to the property, leaving us with a rather large damage bill. Fortunately, insurance covered that. Rental arrears, again, ultimately eviction. Visit to QCAT, we needed to service the mortgage in the meantime. Needless to say, a few sleepless nights with that one. And the resounding thing for me was, as I spoke to people along the way, I learnt that I certainly wasn't alone. Lots of our friends had had their own experience. Their friends had their own horror stories as well. The more I spoke to people along the way, the more I learned that there was a culture of complacency out there amongst property managers and agents. There was a lot of inconsistency in property management and their procedures. Basically, people just weren't doing the job properly. And I was asking for recommendations along the way, obviously looking to change from the agent that we were with, and a lot of the people that I spoke to couldn't hand on heart say, yes, I've got a great property manager, yes, I'm happy that they're doing their job, I'm 100% happy with the way that my affairs are being looked after. So I went down the road of self-management, and again continued to talk to people along the way. That's how Right Fit Properties was formed, through just more and more talking to people and realizing that there were service gaps in the industry. So what makes us different? Look, I could talk about my passion for property management all day. I'll try to keep it very short. We go the extra mile when it comes to marketing properties. So other agents will list and basically just hope for the best. I was looking at an area the other day, 175 properties for rent on realestate.com in that one area, 125 properties available now. So our goal is to, in a market like that, to make your property stand out from the others. How do we do this? So upgraded listings on realestate.com we do as a standard. Professional property photography, so we want to make the place sparkle. If your property is empty, we will do virtual staging, so we'll have furniture photoshopped in, helps potential tenants to, I guess, view themselves living there, get a feel for their home. We also do property video where we can, again, to help as a tour through the property, and people can see a little bit more about what they're getting. A picture doesn't always paint the story, and that property video, I'd like to point out, isn't just some panned photos that you see to music, like what other agents have started doing, going great, property video. It's actually talking you through the property, talking you through the positive attributes of the property, surrounding amenities, what it is that people would like in the property that would help them see themselves living there and benefit them day to day. So really big on that. So from there, we're making your property stand out. So great. People are inquiring, we're getting leads on the property. We aim to be flexible around showcasing the property. So that includes private viewings at times that suit the candidates. So we're not 9 to 5 Monday to Friday guys. Some of our best applicants have actually been from a viewing that we've done on a Sunday, from an evening viewing that we've done at 6:30 of an evening, with people that have worked and haven't been able to get there, who would have otherwise missed out through other agents through inflexibility. So very passionate about that. Feedback that we've had is those candidates have actually chosen our property because they simply couldn't get to the other ones, even though they may have liked those properties more from what they'd seen. So from there, we've got great leads. We're getting a lot of people through the door. The next step is basically the screening process. So very diligent in our screening processes. We use basically property search tools, tenancy search tools to make sure we're getting the best tenant that we can for your property. Very, very important, because we're avoiding potential tiers later on in doing that for us and for you. So something that we treat with absolute importance. It's not a case of you show up, you tick the boxes, you're in. Absolutely not. Very, very important. So from there, it also is around communication with the tenants and communication with you, keeping everybody happy, keeping the property up to standard. So feedback that we got from our research was very much around landlords didn't know what was going on with their properties. They weren't getting regular feedback. They weren't getting regular inspection reports, things like that. They actually had no idea what was going on inside their four walls. They had no idea when tenants were raising issues, and on the flip side of that, tenants thought that they were raising issues and that the landlords weren't interested in their issues, so consequently moving out, leading to vacancy times, less income for landlords, stress for tenants. Well, bit of communication, building relationships, treating everyone with respect can absolutely mitigate that, and everybody's happy, better return for your investment. So the other thing that we've found is when we build relationships with our tenants is that they're more likely to stay in the property, and they're also more likely to treat it more respectfully as if it were their own, which is great because it means less downtime vacancies to carry and less wear and tear on your property, less costs on repairs and maintenance. So great, you've got a long-term tenant, they're looking after the place. The important thing here is regular rent reviews. We hear stories of landlords that have had their tenants in their properties for 5 years. Their landlord or property manager tells them, oh, it's a soft market, rentals aren't going up. But when we actually take on the properties, we do reviews, we actually find that the rent is certainly not in line with market value. Now, I don't know about you, but when I went into property investment myself, I didn't set out to be the Department of Housing. I wanted to get a fair return on my property, so certainly not going to be subsidising low rents, nor do I expect my landlords to. So want to be absolutely upfront about that. Fair rental increases in line with market values help to retain tenants in the properties rather than unfair increases, but also help to maximise your returns on investment as well. Now, the other thing I want to stress is around consistency of management. We regularly hear stories around property management teams changing over. Landlords don't even know who their property managers are. Rest assured, you'll be provided with the service that you deserve with your rental property. Your property manager is a shareholder in the business, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Means that we know the full story around your property. There's not a revolving door of property managers, can be very frustrating for owners, also very frustrating for tenants because they feel that they've got to start all over again each time that there's a change. So you might be wondering how much this service costs. We have shopped the industry, and in doing so we've simplified our fee structure, so no complicated fees, no unexpected fees, hidden monthly costs, little add-ons like stationery, petties, advertising fees. It is a one-off fee, well, not a one-off fee I should say, it's a simple monthly management fee. There's also a fee of 1 week's rent plus GST should we need to re-tenant your property. No other advertising costs, no other hidden fees, as simple as that. And I have to stress as well, we're not only about providing great service, we're about providing great value for money as well. So get in touch with us, we'd be more than happy to give you an outline as to our current fees. If you think that we might be the right fit for you, and I hope that we are, absolutely feel free to get in touch. There's contact details at the bottom of this ad. Reach out, we'll only be too happy to help and get your property back on track. We look forward to hearing from you soon.